Welcome back, guys, to another Diablo Immortal video. In this one, I have two different monk builds I wanted to give to you. Instead of separating them out in two different videos, I decided just to combine them, honestly, because I'm a little anxious to go to my next class, and I've been kind of sitting on these builds for a while. So some of them are not new, but they have some updates to them, so make sure you watch it to the very end, and I'll talk about how you can really min-max this with some of the new changes that came to Diablo Immortal. Let's get straight to it. First up is the raid build, okay? So this is what you're going to want to do when you are doing your Heliquaries, if you want to do your Hellslayer bounties, or any kind of boss situation, okay? So let's go ahead and I'll show you the damage, and then we'll go from there. Actually, I want to be on the boss. So, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Now, pretty straightforward. You basically just bust your load all over pause. You basically just push all your buttons all at one time, and then just start auto-attacking. Or primary attacking, rather. Auto-attacking. What game am I playing? But you can see that it is a decent amount of damage. I'm going to do this for 30 seconds. And again, damage will vary based on your builds. But this is pretty good for me, especially on a monk. Little changes, like I said, to the older version of this. So overall, still a good build, but also somewhat consistent to the old version. So 30 seconds, I got 109 million total damage, 3.6 mil damage per second. Not bad at all. Now, the build is as follows. The head is Humbled Horizon, which is going to give us the Suffering Wrath. Inner Sanctuary follows you, increasing the primary attack speed of nearby allies. Now, it is allies, so anyone in the circle will also benefit from that. Chest piece, Nest of the Vipers, which is going to be giving us Flying Dragon now grants you Dragon Strike, causing each primary attack to release a damage wave of energy. Flying Dragon damage increased by 18%. Shoulders is Rip Current Shells, and this is going to give us Imprisoned Fist. Now grants you waning flare, causing each primary attack to release a wave of energy that slows nearby enemies, and then damage increased. Cool. So pants is Empty Cups, which is going to give you your Flying Dragon also conjures a tornado for 1.5 seconds after striking the same enemy multiple times in quick succession, dealing 12k damage, which is going to vary based off your resonance and everything else. So not bad there. You can see that everything is just basically going into our primary attack damage. Tenebros Grasp, which is going to be 7-sided strike now causes your primary attacks to conjure spirit allies to unleash a powerful strike on your target, damaging any enemy within its path. 7-sided strike increased by 18%. Offhand 1 is Vedin's Sting, and this is a Flying Dragon now also shatters enemy armor, increasing damage they take by 11.4% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 3 times, so up to what, 33%? That's pretty sick. 34% math. Anyway. Main hand number 2, Wisdom's Grasp, is going to give you Imprisoned Fist damage increased by 19%, just straight up damage. Last but not least is our offhand number 2, which is Thrumping Ferocity, which is an older one, but within Inner Sanctuary, your allies deal 15.2% more damage. So again, just damage, multipliers, multiplicative on top of each other, just getting tons and tons of damage out of it. Moving over to our set gear. Right now, I'm rocking a 4-piece Fathuz, and ideally, it would be a 4-piece Grace. I'm rocking a 2-piece Grace, 2-piece Mount Banks, because I am getting ready to switch over to a different class, but you would want a 4-piece Grace for this, and that's going to make it so you do a ton of damage. So there's that. Now, other things you can do to get a ton of damage is, if you look at my gear again, let me go back down here, is when it comes to PVE, I would highly recommend, where am I at? Your bonus loadouts. So you want to do damage to enemies suffering loss of control increased. Damage to demons is obviously mainly if everything we do, oops, I didn't realize I was still covering it up, top right. You want to make sure that you get damage to demons, because that's going to be doing a ton of damage for you. Any PVE you do, because any PVE is always going to be fighting demons. Attack speed increased, which is good. The beneficial effect duration, and then crit hit damage increased, and then your primary attacks have a 2% chance when you get the family bonus of that one. So I have that on all of my gear for PVE. This is by far the best loadout you could do for your attributes, so make sure you do that. Paragon is Slinger, and I have Unseen Dynamism, Impulsive, Spell Surge, Gifted, Uncanny, and I just realized I actually didn't have a legendary skill on. That's the shield. Which one was I using? It was supposed to be Release Death. So when you continue damage, harmful effects expire, they explode, dealing damage. No, it's actually the one that Yeah, it's this one. So it's actually supposed to be overloaded, which is you periodically become overloaded, causing your next 5 primary attacks within 3 seconds to have 60% increased primary attack speed. So that's the one you actually want, not Death's Release. You want overloaded, because again, primary attack damage. Cool. So there's that. Now the other build that I talked about, because again, you're getting 2 builds, is more of just a farm build. It is the helicopter build. I also use this build for PvP. So I guess you could argue this is 3 builds in one, but there are very slight changes that I make. So for PvE, same set gear we talked about, 4-piece Vithus, 4-piece Grace, right? Grace, yeah, 4-piece Vithus, 4-piece Grace. Headpiece is Pensive Crown. This is actually not correct. Yeah, no, there is an updated essence that just came out somewhat recently that makes it even stronger. So shields and increases your skill damage. This is the one. Wayward Muse is the one you're going to want. So I just got this essence finally, and this is a much better option because it does scale with your helicopter. So that Wayward Muse is your headpiece. Shields and increases your skill damage by 28.5%. Chest is Driven Thunder. Cyclone Strike is now channeled, causing you to run forward, spinning a Staff of Storm. This is your helicopter. Shoulders, we're using Wind Child. So 7-sided strike increases your movement speed by 10% for 3.2 seconds after hitting an enemy. All right. Terminal Pace. Cyclone Strike damage is increased by 1.9% up to a maximum of 57% for every 1% increase in movement speed, which you can see how these go hand in hand. Movement speed is a big part of this build. Leaping Shadow for the main hand 1 is 7-sided strike now empowers you for several seconds, during which you continually launch attacks at random nearby enemies. So as you're spinning and winning with your staff, you're also just doing AoE damage around you. Offhand 1 is Boundless Breath. Cyclone Strike cooldown is reduced by 0.07 seconds for warmth, or 1.6 energy is recovered for every yard move. So the farther you go, the faster you get it back. Then we have Calification on main hand 2. Shield of Zen now protects you or an ally with a Shield of Flame. So again, we're basically just doing AoE damage with our Flame Shield and with our, where is it? 7-sided strike. So lots of just AoE damage while you spin to win. And then last but not least, we do Eye of the Storm, which is Cyclone Strike radius increased by 29%. Now, again, we talked about set gear. We talked about our essences. If you want to see what it looks like for the skills as well, I talk about that on my other build. So I do Breath of the Heavens because it does give you a slight movement speed increase. And then I do Shield of Zen. I do 7-sided strike. And then, of course, Cyclone Strike, which is the actual helicopter build. I also use Fist of Thunder in case I need to jump around, especially for PvP. But basically, you just do the first 2 and gets your speed boost, and then you just spin and win, and you have a ton of AoE damage, and you can basically keep it going a pretty long time. Beneficial effect duration will help as well. It also scales with attack speed. So if you have any gems that are increasing your attack speed and or movement speed, you will get more damage and more longevity out of your Cyclone Strike. Very, very good. Now, what would I change for PvP? I would go 4-piece Vithus and 4-piece Mount Banks. Pretty straightforward there for the set piece. Paragon, we have not talked about yet. For PvE, I do Vanquisher because PvE. Again, when I'm farming Overworld, that's what I do. If you wanted to make it more of a just sheer damage build, then go to Slinger or Harbinger because you're getting that additional attack speed. But for PvP, I like to run Gladiator or Brawler because again, that's where you get some more damage reduction, increased size, and or your life back with cheat death. So those are the options for Paragons, and then you should put. Yeah, you're just gonna win. So again, it's a little bit of a change to the previous helicopter build. In fact, it's more improved with the new headpiece, but that's basically the only change that happened. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Again, legendary gems, you're going to use what legendary gems you have. I don't like to cover legendary gems on my build because they're going to be dramatically different per individual, because I think the majority of most people don't change their gems for whatever class they go to, unless it's like the summoning necro thing where you need certain gems to really buff that. You don't need them, but it helps. So I don't really go over gems in that aspect. So hopefully you guys appreciate this video. Again, you got basically 3 builds for the price of your time. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I will be going to a new class today as of the time of this recording, but I will probably make videos for that class at a later time. So again, I actually do like the monk. For those of you that have watched the channel for a while, I have been shitting on the monk for a long time. I've actually been on the monk for over a month and very much enjoyed my time on it. Monk is in a much better place than it ever has been, arguably since well, in the beginning before it got, kind of nerfed to crap. So Monk's in a good spot. I actually like it. Now I'm going on to another class so I can min-max it better. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your continued support. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.